Hey man, it's me, Dave! Your co-host from Raiders of the Lost Genre. And I brought Firewalker! Scott?
Since the earliest days of movie making, the genre of the Lost World and its prehistoric denizens is one that always seems to die out, only to be rediscovered once again. From B-movies and cult films to modern blockbusters, we are the Raiders of the Lost Genre.
Hey Dave.
Hey man, what's up?
Today we're watching Firewalker.
Yeah, we are. Chuck
That's what
Norris,
it's called, right?
baby.
Firewalker, yeah. Chuck Norris in a Lost City epic. So no dinosaurs this week, I don't think. I don't think so, but we're going for the Lost City.
Yeah, I'm fine with no dinosaurs if we can replace it with Chuck Norris. One thing I do love though is this hilarious cover.
Yeah, thank you.
Plus stealth. Is it actually on? Is this a double feature?
It's a double feature. We're not watching Stealth today, but you know, when I'm burning my own disc because I don't want to spend money on a movie called Firewalker or Stealth for that matter, this is what happens.
I think you spruce it up with the little clip art.
Yeah, well, you know.
All right, Firewalker. What's to say?
Not much. Let's see how good it is.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Cannon, a symbol of quality?
Which is more exciting to you, Cannon or Orion?
Cannon, because it has Charles Bronson.
Got any good Chuck Norris jokes off the cuff?
I heard that Chuck Norris has to bring a baseball bat into the bathroom for fear that he may crap a wildcat and have to beat it to death.
Yeah, I grew up in the 80s. We watched Aliens and RoboCop and Big Trouble in Little China about a dozen times each. I also had friends who thought Chuck Norris was the shit, and they watched Missing in Action and Delta Force and Invasion USA an awful lot. They also told me that Firewalker was pretty cool. I'm still not buying it. For one thing, Delta Force had Lee Marvin. Firewalker does not.
Yeah, Havasu, we're going for the weekend!
Woo! Spring break!
Whoa, is that Chuck Norris?
The movie's heroes are Max and Leo, played by Norris and Lou Gossett Jr., respectively. There are a couple of world-classless treasure hunters that open the film with a dune buggy chase that the TV version of the A-Team outdid on a weekly basis.
Watch, he'll probably say something stupid like, "So, gentlemen, we meet again."
So, gentlemen, we meet again.
Did you write this?
You are responsible for...
Staked out in the desert to die, it's quickly apparent that Firewalker may seek to cash in on the likes of Indiana Jones or Romancing the Stone, but has no idea how to present, much less spin, the tropes and cliches of old-school adventure in any effective way. After bickering like a deranged married couple, the boys manage to escape and are soon approached by the semi-clueless Patricia Goodwin, played by Flash Gordon's Melody Anderson.
I'm on Lou Gossett Jr.'s side.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. She's here looking for porn stash.
Jesus Christ, you walked into the right bar.
She has an Aztec treasure map she's acquired from nowhere in particular.
I'm Action Manigan, this is Side Kickington.
And claims she's being chased by a red cyclops who wants the map as well. When people start shooting at them, the fortune hunters take the job.
Keep your heads down.
See, I told you so.
I think you're right. Maybe I did accidentally write this movie.
I'm not sure we ever see the map after it's mentioned initially. It doesn't matter, though, as Patricia seems psychic and keeps leading them to inane clues to further the plot.
At least this is a funny way to burn screen time. They're doing shenanigans.
Shenanigans?
We're not just walking.
No, we're firewalking.
In a cave, she discovers a human skull amongst ancient writings and Spanish conquistador helms.
Where I'm gonna get a leash for that woman.
Yeah. Can we watch?
Did you bring the ball again?
Oh, that's 16th century Spanish conquistador.
When Chuck drops the skull, we find a golden dagger with a ruby hilt hidden inside it.
It wasn't a skull at all, but a piñata.
What is that? How the hell should I know? We'll shoot it.
Nice shot.
Nice shot.
No. Thanks.
Maybe I wrote this.
The local Native Americans tell of an eye-patched descendant of the Aztecs,
He's an old shaman named Legal.
Tony Legal?
Tony Legal, shaman at law.
El Coyote, Sonny Landham, aka Billy from Predator, who wants the dagger. Patricia, meanwhile, befriends Tall Eagle, who gives her a magic medicine bag of protection against El Coyote. A hot-to-trot native girl turns up at Chuck's door, apparently with a thing for porn stashes and magic potions as well.
Oh, hey.
Hexagram.
But it turns out she's been sent by El Coyote to kill him. It's up to Patricia and Leo to save Chuck from the sins of sex out of wedlock, if for no other reason than he wouldn't have roundhouse kicked a girl anyway.
So why did the Indian chief only want her to be protected?
Wait, I know this one.
Kept
Quiet, there's a cat fight on top of Chuck Norris.
Roll around in his chest some more. Oh my god, they did it! I'm writing the movie as it happens.
Fortunately, Patricia seems to know where they're headed, so the quest goes on.
Chuck, huh?
He's sleeping like a baby.
That's got a hell of a heart on.
Drugged ass baby with an erection.
I'm telling you, this could be the big one.
We lost control of this one. We are not coming back.
And stop acting like a dadgum sissy.
Dadgum.
Dadgummit.
The language from that Christian man.
What brings you to San Miguel, Mr. Donovan?
We're on a,
Archaeological expedition.
yeah, right.
Tu madre fue una marrana.
Is he from the Puma Man?
He does look like the Puma Man.
I think it is Vadinho.
Oh, no.
What is going on?
Roundhouse kicks.
Look, there's Glenn Campbell behind the bar. This is a Steven Seagal-esque fight.
Penny shot. Whoa.
Badass.
He drank a beer.
Badass, man.
And roundhouse.
Girl going with him?
Looks that way.
Good.
Get my payoff now, right?
You want your payoff now?
We're all gonna die.
Chased by people we have to assume are after the map or the dagger or something.
What's this guy, World War II? Like every costume that was in the warehouse. Nuns, priests, cowboys, cowgirls, Mexican pirates, gypsies.
The trio disguise themselves as priests and a nun and hop a train further into Central America.
Japanese World War II soldiers.
Max Donegan, if you're trying to make a pass.
You know, as girls go, she's a hard habit to break.
When they're caught by freedom fighters and all seems lost,
Oh yeah, Jansports.
John Rice effing Davies appears as the crazed leader of the soldiers and an old compatriot of our heroes.
Sala?
I told you it would be all right.
Por mis amigos!
Salud. Salud.
Salud! Hey, we're all buddies now.
Sorry about almost murdering you.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, though.
Oh, go on. He ain't never danced with a girl before.
Wow, he is going right around the dance floor to his hut. Should we check in on that? Or?
She'll be fine, especially during the wet t-shirt contest.
Hope you got life insurance.
Quiet, I can't concentrate.
What is going on in this
It's a
movie?
buddy film, Dave. Ah!
I'm not playing with you anymore, sport.
This is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's trying to be a movie without knowing how to be a movie. I am a movie. Heartfelt moment.
After a night of dancing, drinking, and other things that come dangerously close to storytelling.
Wow, he can put it away like a dwarf.
You see, I got the charm, too.
Pull back. Dramatic moment.
Why
Hold it.
can't
Hold it.
This just
And cut. Beautiful.
This scene does not belong in this movie.
John gives them a VW bug and some chickens to complete their journey.
He's got packing peanuts hanging from his hat. You want a farm!
And you get a farm.
And you get a farm!
This is insane. What is going on?
When things start to hint at being less than chaste between Chuck and Patricia, Jesus apparently intervenes in the form of alligator jaws, seemingly taking Leo away in the night.
Leo?
God, it's blood.
1 hour, 18 minutes in.
There we go. Next stop, Wisconsin Dells.
Our barely depressed not couple press on and find the lost, hidden temple at last, where El Coyote has Leo hostage and traps Chuck and Patricia as well.
Whoa, it's King Salah's mine.
King Salah's mine.
I knew it, Max. We found it.
Why does it have Google eyes?
You know, they were a laughing cult.
Which Nickelodeon series was this again?
Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, that's it.
He intends to use the dagger to sacrifice Patricia to appease the gods and unlock the temple and its riches, becoming the Aztec Firewalker through magic or something.
Back up a minute, will ya? The world's tallest sissy. Major League win. You son of a bitch!
Ow.
My nuts!
Gods are appeased. I will have the power of my ancestors.
Instead, Chuck Norris roundhouse kicks him to death, and Patricia miraculously finds a hoard of gold.
This is how he kills everybody, is putting his fingers around their nose.
It's an ancient Aztec form of, like, the Vulcan mind meld.
When she spreads the contents of the medicine bag on El Coyote, his body bursts into flames.
Oh.
The burning. The itching.
Rich at last, the trio go out for cocktails. The end.
To the
future.
So, gentlemen, we meet again.
I hate this movie.
Advertised as a comedy adventure film, Firewalker has precious little of either. As a comedy, Norris and Lou Gossett almost have chemistry, which is more than can be said for the flatline effect Chuck seems to have on Melody Anderson, if you want to try and comment on the romance quotient. Norris's character feels positively G-rated in a movie that certainly never tries to push any boundaries. Nowadays, it would probably get a TVMA for all the smoking and drinking, but its attempts at a romantic comedy adventure are overshadowed by how nearly sexless and bloodless this flick really is.
I feel like I've never not been watching this movie.
It's a shame, as director J. Lee Thompson made some quality action flicks, especially in the 1960s.
Okay, Manuel. Run away.
It doesn't help that the nonsensical story falls from event to event without ever trying to explain much, either visually or with any quality exposition. I don't know how many drafts or writers this went through before it landed on the credited ones, but it wasn't enough. Apparently, because I didn't see it as a little kid the first time around, I missed the boat on this one. Firewalker is hardly worth the rewatch.
How's it going?
I'm wearing them down.
All right. How'd you feel about... You know, Dave, there's an awful lot of children who grew up in the 80s, and they think Firewalker is so good.
Who? This... I don't even want to say the word movie out loud when referring to this thing. Because it was so not a movie. I can't believe it.
It went through 3 writers at least. There's 3 credited writers. You have the story by, and then the screenplay, and then the screenplay. But it's like somebody said, write me an Indiana Jones adventure with a $10 budget, and then passed it to somebody.
Dialogue.
Well, there's lots of dialogue.
But okay, yeah, you're right. There is a lot of dialogue, but it's the same 4 sentences.
Right, over and over and over again.
But then, like I said during the screening, I want to see what this script was, because I don't think there was anything written down ever.
Right.
I think they just had those scenes, like the sound stages, and they said, okay, run around and go crazy. You're just stuck watching Chuck Norris and Lou Gossett Jr. look at each other, smile, and say, it's your fault. For how many minutes did we just spend? I feel like everybody knew where this place was. We never got to a lost anything. Billy was always the Aztec dude he was.
Yeah, he knew where it was. He just wouldn't take the dagger.
There was temple guards all over the place. And the soldiers, what were the soldiers doing? They dressed up as nuns and priests at some point, and that goes nowhere and comes from nowhere. They do a last rites on a man who decides he's not going to die.
Maybe that was what happened. Like, maybe somebody wrote a script that said, I'm going to make a low-budget Indiana Jones film, and we're going to make it fun and adult. And then somebody said, you know what? This would make a lot more money if it's a G, or maybe a PG. So take out all the sex and violence that you wrote in, but still keep the format. Just take the sex and violence out.
Yeah, this is canon.
And it just becomes a whole bunch of kitty nothing leading to a temple where they get gold. Happens. They get gold and they kill the bad guy.
But you don't even see, and then like this... God, I can't with this movie. It's just too much at the same time being too little.
Yeah, you'd never seen it before. I'd watched it once, and I remember watching it, and that's all I remembered. Like, I knew that I'd seen it, but I couldn't remember shit about this movie. And now I know why, because nothing happens. It's a completely non-memorable movie. And then we were just looking this up. And the crazy part is the guy who directed this film directed a whole bunch of interesting stuff, like Guns of the Navarone. What else did I say?
Like just everything on the spectrum.
He directed a whole bunch of Charlie Bronson movies.
From terrible Charles Bronson movies to like big blockbuster movies.
Yeah, like 60s huge adventure flicks.
There's people involved. Sala shows up and does a great job. That's the one part of the movie that I cannot... If you can clip everything out except the Sala part, perfect movie.
It should have just been a short story.
Right.
It's like these guys get back together, reunited in the jungle after almost getting killed.
Right, and it's the perfect, it is a perfect short story. They show up and it's like, oh, gotcha, just kidding, everything's funny, and I've been living in the jungle. I'm a little crazy
now. Drink more.
Yeah, and that was a whole fun little thing.
It's the only way to keep the dysentery at bay. More alcohol.
At one point, like when Billy throws we don't see it, but he throws something at our lady character and he goes, put this on. You think, okay, now it's time to ramp up. He made her put on more clothes. And she's in 9 acres of cotton, white, flowing sheets.
That was the other thing. When she's in a trance, she smiles the whole time. She smiles. Can you think of one more Chuck Norris joke before we go?
You know, Chuck Norris's beard can deflect bullets, and the only thing that can cut through it is like a diamond laser. The stash, though, never goes away, as you saw.
So we're giving a thumbs down.
Oh, way down.
To Firewalker. See, I've already forgotten the title.
I keep wanting to call it Sunwalker, because literally, who cares? Who gives a shit, Walker? That's what it settles on.